Good morning, friends and family from the YouTube universe, and welcome back again. Hope that you all have had a fantastic weekend. This is going to be part 2 in our 2-part series of 5 customer service tips for the car salesman and 5 counters for those of you that have to deal with them. Now, if you missed the first part, there's a link right up here, and links and information, of course, will be in the comments below. Now, let's get started with part 2, where we're going to talk about all of the little tricks that they try to play on you. So make sure you see that. We'll be right back. All right, well, segment 2 here is kind of a big one on this purchase that we made on this car. A couple of the things that my daughter's Ford Escape, as I told you earlier, she had a Ford Escape, and one of the things that did not have is a backup camera that I was really hoping to get for her. And that's one of those things where, you can buy the license plate attachment camera and, wirelessly have a monitor up front and that sort of thing. But I don't think that works really good. One of the things that we have on our Ford F-250 that I really like is blind spot monitoring. Now, I want to show you real quick on this car where it's at. They put it right here on the doorpost. You can see it right here. It's a light on the doorpost. Instead of putting it in the mirror, it's right there where you can easily see it. Now, when somebody gets in your blind spot, this is just the test light for it. But you can see, I'll go to that pillar there. When you start the car, you can see it lights up to show you that it is working. That's what you see when somebody's in your blind spot. It's on the inside of the car where it's nice and easy to see. The other thing that she has on her car is a backup camera. She has trajectory steering, and even on this price point of car, you have a all-around camera view. This is just a really nice view. You have, I think there's 3 camera views here. This one you're seeing the front camera because it's not in reverse. When it's in reverse, you'll see the rear camera. In this view, you can see a line here that is your curb line for parallel parking so that you won't get any rash on those nice new rims. So that's kind of a neat feature. And then when you're, well, it's not going to do that, huh? Let's see if we start it up then, huh? We'll show you. And put it in reverse. Here's that trajectory backup I was telling you about. See how the guidelines show you exactly based on where your steering wheel is turned, where you're going to go. It also does that. It switches so that you can see that your wheels are straight. Cool features. And that's 2 of the real good reasons we bought this car. Mostly those are features that you would expect to find in a more expensive car. And we didn't have to get her a more expensive car. Okay, number 2. Okay, this is a big one because now you've found your dream car, everybody, and you're getting ready to negotiate. And this is a process where things start to break down and deals start to go sour because of maybe mostly a misunderstanding. So we're going to try to clear that up right here. So number 2 for you salesman, customer service tip, number 2 is that today's media makes it highly unlikely that the customer is ignorant of tired sales games and gimmicks. So be honest and attentive and speed things along. That's how you're going to win our business. Speed things along. Just because you're there all day doesn't mean we want to be, right? Don't take and keep their keys, in the pretense that you're going to value their trade, and then keep their license so that they could test drive the car and keep them so that you could keep them there. That's not when, if you've got a good deal, if you've got nice car, the car they want, the good deal that they need, and you're being open, honest, friendly, and speeding things along, then you've earned their business. Don't hold them hostage. That's totally not necessary. Give the best deal up front and then expect a counter from the customer, okay? Leaving customers alone for excessive periods of time so that they can talk themselves into doing something that they probably shouldn't. It's just a rude assumption, okay? So don't do it. And don't move numbers between the trade value and the purchased vehicle price, okay? So, okay, I know you want $100 more for your trade. I'll give you $100 more for your trade. Yeah, well, then you turn around and charge them $100 more for the car that they're buying, and you tack that on. So you're not really giving anything, are you? And, why would you assume that the customer is ignorant? And even if they are, why would you take advantage of that if you want to earn their business? So just don't do it. That's just mean, okay? Now, for you customers out there, when it's time to negotiate, make sure that you keep your keys. If they want to value your trade, fine. Let them know that you're not prepared to negotiate any further until you get your keys back. So they better do a quick job, because quite frankly, they pretty much know by the VIN number what your car's worth. They're just going to give it a once over, or have somebody that's more expert give it a once over. And it shouldn't take forever. Okay, they don't let you drive their car forever, so it shouldn't, take any longer than the 5 or 10 minute test drive you made for them to evaluate your trade and give you your keys back. Let them know you want that up front. You're not going to negotiate until you do get your keys, your license, whatever they've taken to try and keep you from escaping. Make sure you get it back before you go any further with them. Now, links and information below are going to have comments and stuff like that. So check them out. Okay, I'm going to put in links to NADAguides.com and thekellybluebook.com. This is where you're going to get the best idea of what your car is worth. So be honest with yourself when you're valuing your car, and know what your car is worth before you ever sit down with them. But don't make the first offer. They're going to insult you anyway, so go ahead and let them insult you first, and then go from there. Besides that, you might get that rare occasion that your car is worth more than you thought it was. So why ruin your chance of getting more money for it? Let them make the first offer. That is a really big deal. So don't allow the sales step to make you wait, okay? If they make you an offer and then walk away, make sure that you tell them, if you're going to leave, you come back in 5 minutes, because I have my keys, I have my license, and I'll leave. Okay? You shouldn't need more than that time to think about their offer, especially if it's only the first one. They want you to sit there and talk yourself into doing something you shouldn't. So don't let them do that, guys. Okay? Let them know that they need to be attentive and come back and take care of you. Keep records of the offers that they're making, because they might come back 2, 3, 4 times, maybe even more. And they usually don't want to leave that there, because it's almost a rope-a-dope where, you can get confused about it. So take a picture of it with your phone if you have to, so that you can compare one offer to the other, and make sure they aren't doing things like shuffling money from your trade to make it look like you got more, only to add that to the price of the car that you are buying. And be realistic of things like, gap. Okay? It's totally viable these days that you could owe more on your car. We get all excited about new cars. You may owe more on your car than what your new car, than what it's worth. So that means somebody has to pay it. And why should they pay, buy a car from you for more than what it's worth reasonably? So that's probably going to transfer to the price of your new car. So you better get a good deal on it, or you're going to have an even wider gap. So be careful of that. Now, here's a really important one, everyone. They know when you're close to a deal. They can feel it. They are very well trained, and most of them have like a sense of it too. So when they're close to a deal you can work with, they know it too. So the last thing you want to do before they get to the point where they're wanting to shake your hand is, you can say, they're like, come on, take that deal. Fine, okay. Hold your hand out and say, I need just $100 more for my trade, and you got a deal. Make them not take your deal. Make them not take your offer and take your hand for a lousy $100 more, so that you can go out and celebrate your new car, right? $100 will buy you guys a couple of steaks, maybe. So I'd be surprised if they don't take your hand and say, deal. You got $100 more. Then after that, you might even try one more more trick, and that is, oh, and you know what? I forgot. My sister told me about this place. You probably haven't got any records because, you know, she didn't buy, but she was very impressed with your customer service. So, you know, if there's a $50 or $100 referral fee, then please send that to my sister and give them the address so that she can get her $50 or $100 for nothing. So, other than you bought a car. All right? So, the last one, number one. We'll be back in just a minute, everybody, and we are winding it down. So, don't go away. Well, everybody, we're finally there at the last segment, the top segment here, and customer service rule number one. I wanted to show you the last thing on this car. I wanted you to see this was kind of weird. That's why I like it. But they have kind of this weird little shelf thing going on here where you can stack stuff. Yeah, for shelves and whatever. But I thought this was really cool. Wait, this is a subwoofer inside of the spare tire carrier. So there's a little box that comes off when you go to access your spare tire. Make yourselves familiar with your car and how to change a spare tire if necessary, folks, because that's important. Now, customer service number one for salesmen is, hey, give the customer a chance to see and look over your buy order, purchase order, customer purchase order, whatever you're calling it at your dealership. You know you've got one, and it's a simple document compared to that great big long contract and all that worry about having to mess with the loan and everything else. You know, let them look over that document first to see what's in there, because it's pretty simple and straightforward. And if you've got a fair and honest deal, then you don't have to worry about them seeing it before they go to finance, right? Right. Now, for you, the customer, tell them you want to see that buyer's purchase order, whatever they're calling it. You want to see it before you go to finance. Because if there are any problems on there like what I had, then you want to get it resolved before you go to finance, because having things crop up like a different interest rate than you understood, or things like what I ran into with this car, it starts to sour your deal, and you start to wonder if you really got a good deal or if you're taken advantage of, because, well, if they didn't bring it up front, then it must be a dishonest thing, right? So what happened with me was the price of the car was different when we got to finance, because the internet price was a very good price, but there was a little bit more money on there. Now, it was still a good deal, so I went ahead with it. But what they told me, without even writing it on the customer purchase order or telling me in the deal, was that, well, it's a reconditioning fee because it's a used car. Well, sorry, that doesn't float, fellas, because, well, everybody does it. Well, maybe they do it now. I can't speak to that, but I can tell you just about every time I've ever traded in a car, they want to give me just a little bit less money because, well, we might have to throw a couple of tires on there, fix a windshield or some paint or something like that. Well, BS, I'm calling, okay? If that's the price of the car, then put it on the car. Don't wait till you show up with the purchase order and tack it on there and let somebody be surprised. The other thing that they did to me that they tacked on was this etching. Let me show you that real quick. So here's what they did to me. Now this is backwards so that you can see it, because it's hard to see from the outside. But they put this VIN etching on there. And, my question is, well, we already did that. Well, why would you do that? Do I go to Walmart and every time I pull out a cart, it's got a can of vegetables in it already because they're pretty sure that you want a can of vegetables? No, they don't do that. The cart's empty. So don't put this on the car and then charge for it. If you put it on the car, it's in the price. Or be prepared to lose your shirt over it, because you shouldn't make an assumption that the customer wants something like this without them asking for it or offering it for them. Don't just put it on there. That is BS. That's one of the biggest BS things that dealers do. It's very annoying. Now, you as the customer, insist that before you go to finance, you get a chance to look at that buyer's purchase order, look it over very carefully to make sure that at the top it has the price you're paying for the car. There are no extras like etched glass or things like that in there. That's the price you agreed to pay for the car with nothing added on to it. Look at what they say they're giving you for your trade. Look at what they say the difference is, you know, our tax, license, document fees, reasonable document fees and things like that in there. And only then say, okay, I'm ready to go to finance and really get started with the headache of having to look at that big, long finance contract and interest rates and those kind of things. And be prepared, because when you get there, they're going to try to sell you that warranty. Okay, now, if you want to single-handedly get rid of that, question of the warranty, simply say, if your product is so faulty that I need a warranty before I even get off the lot because it's going to break down, then maybe I should go to your competitor. That'll back them off that warranty real quick. Well, everybody, I suppose I've taken up just about enough of your time, but don't forget to like, subscribe, or share my videos, and maybe click that little notification bell down there so that you can get some sort of notice in your inbox when I have new content available, and you won't miss a thing, especially some of the cool upcoming videos. Now, if you're coming up on your car shopping weekend, everybody, make it a good one. Take care.